everybody. Welcome to Revival Town Podcast. My name is Chuck Tate. That's Andy King.
Hey, how you doing, Chuck?
Doing great, mate. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good this time of year. I love the fall.
Yes.
And for those listening to the first time, want to get a bit to know us a little bit, we are in central Illinois, and so we actually get 4 seasons, Chuck. Tell us about it. Come on.
Yeah, man. Well, my favorite season is fall. I grew up as a kid in Phoenix, where there was one season, hell. I'm joking. No, it's really hot. And I love Phoenix. I've gone back several years. Everybody's like, it's a dry heat. I'm like, yeah, so is an oven, but I don't sleep in it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I moved. But I do appreciate it. However, I'm a 4 seasons guy, and the one thing about Illinois is you really do. You have, winter and spring and summer and fall. And fall, it's cool, it's crisp when we have a true fall. And right now, man, I've been out running at night. It's cool. I just love it, man. Fire pit weather, bonfire weather. Let's grill out. Let's hang out.
Yeah.
Man, let's go to Starbucks and get a venti iced chai with pumpkin spice.
Chuck, now, if you don't know, Chuck is like Mr. Starbucks. He is there all the time. Whenever you say, hey, where do you want to meet? Like, there's a million coffee shops around, and it's always going to be Starbucks. And so yeah, he does love Starbucks. But the fall, I mean, I love it as well. We got married in the fall. Not me and you, but Teresa and I got married in the fall. And
that gives a whole new meaning to our segment, Tate and his mate.
But it's one of those things where when I moved to the US, obviously I'm not from America. Did you know that?
I was gonna ask you. I thought Ireland.
No. So I'm from England originally, and we do have seasons there, but like the season of winter here is like winter. Like it is 20 below at times. Very, very cold, snow. For me, I love fall, winter, spring. Yeah. Not a fan of the summer, mainly because this English skin cannot take it, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think you would love Phoenix. You love the people. I don't know if you love the climate.
Good recovery there
yeah,
about the people.
It's only... I mean, in 90 minutes, you could be in Prescott. It's not too far from Flagstaff. You could be in the mountains. And that's the great thing about Phoenix. You can just... You're tired of the heat, just drive up to the mountains. It's cool.
Yeah, and for us living here, we've this is home. Yourself, you said obviously you've been in Phoenix. For us, I've lived in Central Illinois all my life, apart from a season where I was down in Nashville, and we'll be talking a little bit about that in other podcasts. But it's great to be in an area where we can call home, and we love the seasons, we love everything about it. And so that's why we have become real good friends, especially over the last year and a half. And you have had a podcast. I've had a podcast through the Dream Center. So just tell us a little bit about you, the podcast, what you've done, and then I'll talk a little bit as well.
Absolutely. Well, I've been married to Annette for almost 24 years. I have 2 awesome kids, 16-year-old girl named Savannah, a soon-to-be 13-year-old son named Ashton. And my wife and I planted a church in Central Illinois 22 years ago, more than 22 years ago, called Rock Church, and just a great group of people where we want to communicate that God is for them and we are for them. And then a few years ago, published my first book with Tyndale House called 41 Will Come, which led to the 41 Strong podcast.
Man.
So,
Mr. Author.
Yeah. Oh, man. No, God's been good. He's been faithful. And, man, working on book number 2. But let's talk about this podcast.
Sure.
Because, we've collaborated. We've been talking. Like you said, we've become fast friends and really good friends over the last year and a half. And I'm just so excited to be able to do this with you. And it's called Revival Town Podcast.
Yeah.
So revival, the definition is restoration to life. It's an awakening. So wherever you're at, wherever you're listening at, we believe that God can restore anything that's broken in your life.
Absolutely. And, for us, living in this area and what God has been doing in this area through your church, through Dream Center Peoria. That's the organization that I get the privilege to run. It's been amazing to see, not just here, but throughout the nation, sparks of what I would call revival. Now, revival looks different to many people. For us, seeing a homeless person, a homeless family finally get on their feet and back into society and hearing the gospel through the Dream Center, that's been a bit of revival for us, right? Especially for that family.
Yes.
For you, seeing families come into the Rock Church and seeing things anew and fresh to where they're not only giving their lives to Christ, but changing things and that revival there. And so for us, we wanted to do something completely different when it come to this podcast. We wanted to be able to share light throughout the communities in America and beyond to where there's just revival going on. There's just something that's happening, whether that's through the worship scene, whether that's through the churches, the people we interview, whatever it is. We want to really have a good time. And if you're listening to this podcast and you're wanting like the serious leadership podcast, this isn't going to be it.
No.
Right?
We're gonna have a good time. Not to knock any other podcasts, but I mean, we believe that. Well, for one, we're followers of Jesus. He picked 12 riffraff guys, and they went on basically a 3-year camping trip. Okay, all right, they had a good time. Kids wanted to be around Jesus. Kids don't want to be around someone who's mean or boring, right? They're drawn to joy. And we can focus on the negativity during this pandemic that we're in, or we can focus on the good things of God. And we know that no matter what we encounter right now, Romans 8:18 said there's nothing compared to the glory that's going to be revealed to us. So we're going to focus on what's ahead, keep our eyes on Jesus, and believe that God is going to see us through, and we're going to have a good time on this journey.
Absolutely. I mean, for us as a family, getting to know your family has been incredible the last year or so. A bit about my family. Ethan is involved with the Dream Center, the marketing of the Dream Center. He's our oldest son. And then Clay is out in LA, living it up, goes to church in Hollywood, sits under Erwin McManus and the Mosaic community out there. So he's having a great time out there. And then my daughter, Joy, who's great friends with your daughter, they're living life, and they're probably the most excited about fall than us, right?
Yeah. And when I mentioned my Starbucks drink being a venti iced chai with pumpkin spice, that's not my drink. That's my daughter's drink. That's my wife's drink. My drink would be a venti iced white chocolate mocha with caramel syrup, no whip or nay.
Whoa! Hey. Now I hope everyone got that. So when we're ever doing the podcast near you, you can drop by and give us some Starbucks. Chuck, tell us a little bit about what you want to see with this podcast and some of the things that we may be doing.
Sure. Well, we want to encourage, and we want to inspire. We want to challenge, and we want you to laugh. You might cry. You might cry from laughing. You might pee yourself. We don't care. What we want you to experience just we just want God to do something in your heart. And so we're gonna, I think, have some very powerful interviews with some people and unpack some books that perhaps some of them have written.
Right.
I think we'll have a wide variety of people to interview, but we're also going to do some fun segments with just us, because we have a good time wherever we go, and we want people to be able to experience that. I mean, following Jesus, it's a good life, it's a fun life. I believe that as Christians, we should have more fun than anyone.
Absolutely, and you'll find that. I mean, we are going to have fun. I think there is a lot of different podcasts that are out there that they are serious and they're needed for that, right? But we want to just bring a bit of fun to this whole life. Church can be pretty serious sometimes. We've seen the good and the bad of church. I know people listening have seen good and bad of church and Christians, but you know what? We want to bring a new light to the church, be able to have a fun time I know Chuck's going to try and tell jokes and things like that, and we'll laugh along with him. We've even got. This is for Chuck. We've got that cued a lot because we know that he's not going to be too funny, to be honest with you. But you know that's some of the stuff that we've got planned. Now, if you want to follow us on the social media, obviously this internet thing is taking off, Chuck.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
You know, I've heard of the internet, and I enjoy the internet. Yeah, no, obviously, just about everybody I know is on social media in some capacity, or at least some platform, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. My new favorite, I am addicted to TikTok.
Oh, that's probably why they're getting rid of it, because you're on it now.
TikTok Tate, get it out!
TikTok Tate.
We're going to do this segment called Tate and His Mate.
Yeah,
right?
Tate and His Mate.
You're from English, and that's where.
From English? Okay. We need to get the lingo right. We're not from English.
Well, that's why we're going to do this segment called Tate and His Mate, where you're going to tell me an English word, and I'm going to have to guess the definition.
Yes.
And that's going to be a train wreck.
Oh, and I've got some great ones, mate. Don't worry. We are going to... I've got a few English friends that will be listening, and they'll be like, oh, let's see how Tate can keep up with this.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, in episode 2, looking for a new co-host. Andy needs a new co-host.
Well, I tell you what, until we get rolling... start following us on social media. On Instagram, Facebook, it's Revival Town Podcast. On Twitter, it's Revival Town Pod, because they wouldn't let us have 15 words or more. So Revival Town Pod on Twitter, Revival Town Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. And that's where you'll start getting some notifications, seeing the things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking to many different people within the church world, whether that's authors, speakers, musicians. We've just been going through the list of people that we know we can get a hold of, and it's going to be one of those things that you are going to want to definitely keep listening, keep being a part of, and laugh with us, right, Chuck?
Yeah,
I mean,
not at us, with us.
Well, it may be with both.
Okay.
But that's what we're going to be doing, this journey. We don't know how long it's going to go for. Maybe years, maybe one episode.
One episode.
Maybe a double visit, first and last. So that's what we're going to be doing. But we are really excited about this new season for us both. Yeah. We just feel that this is the time to do something a little bit different together. So please stay tuned to what we're going to be doing here on the podcast, Revival Town Podcast, coming to you weekly in the near future.